So the JAS-39C Gripen, a jet that practically leaks state secrets, not because it's bad, but because it is so damn good. It's like Sweden is saying, yeah, we made this and it's terrifying. With 20 degrees sustained turn rate and 30 degrees instantaneous, the Gripen was clearly built for dogfight, and it shows. Unlike some other jets that start losing their speed at low speed, they start losing the grip at low speeds, the Gripen holds these turn rates longer than most people can even hold their breath. You wanna fight on the deck? Good luck. F-16s, Mirages, and J-10s, they might try to get close, but they won't win unless they have an advantage or they are a better pilot than you. In the right hand, this jet can leave them in the dust. Add in a solid radar system with pulse Doppler, TWS, and good HMS, and you've got yourself a killer combo. And let's not forget about the R-Daughter. It might not be the longest ranged missile at top tier, but when your missile has more range than the R-77, it really shows how top tier Russia is just a joke at this point. And just as I start feeling happy about myself, an F-14 and F-15 are on my 12. And guess what? Both of them launch missiles at me like they've got a vendetta against me, but that doesn't matter. I dive behind a mountain and both of them get cleaned up by my team. And just as I think I can have a breather, an F-16 and a Mirage 2000 show up right in front of me. But don't worry, with my sheer will and dedication and the Gripen's superior flight model, I should have absolutely. After going back to base and killing those people, let's talk about the Gripen's flight performance, because honestly, it feels like it's got some cheat codes baked in. This thing turns like it's been studying ballet. With 20 degrees sustained and 30 degrees instantaneous turn rates, you pull back on the stick and the Gripen will just respond. There's no wobble, there's no second guessing, and it just does what you want and when you want. In close range fights, there are some planes that might think they can hang. F-16As, Block 10 specifically, J-10s, and maybe a Mirage 2000 if it's being flown by the reincarnation of Maverick himself. But honestly, they're probably sweating buckets while you're out here just purely vibing to your music and just outrating them. Yeah, good luck. F-15Cs, F-16Cs, as well as MiG-29s, and even F-4Fs these days, you name it. They're all just showing up to a gunfight with a dull knife. If you somehow manage to lose a dogfight in the JAS-39, that is not the jet, that is on you. So maybe take a moment and think about your life choices. Let's talk about BVR, because here is the deal. The JAS-39C does not come to air battles unarmed, but it's not exactly overcompensating either. The UK Gripen, the British Gripen, rocks 4 R-Daughters, which are solid but nothing jaw-dropping. Meanwhile, the Swedish and Italian Gripens, they have AIM-120s, which are arguably the best Fox-3s in the game. They have the best range. They do not have the best G-pull, but they have more than enough, which makes them better than most of the people you're fighting. The radar setup is also a dream. You get TWS, you've got pulse Doppler, and you have very good HMS, and it works really well. This is the kind of tech that makes other nations jealous, especially Russia. It's not flashy, but it's reliable, and that is what matters. It lets you lock in quickly, lob your R-Darters, and disengage before the other guy knows what even hit them. You won't dominate every BVR match because purely of your R-Darters, but with the Gripen, you're always in the fight, and you're usually going to be dogfighting people and lobbing R-Darters within 10 km. Now let's address the elephant in the room. You get 6 missiles, that's it. You get 4 Fox-3s and 2 short-range AIM-9Ms. And you're just fresh out. In a meta where everybody and their grandma is carrying a full Costco of AIM-120s and R-27s, this does feel a little limiting. But hey, quality over quantity, right? That can't be said for the R-Daughter, but it can be said for the AIM-9M. The Gripen's missiles aren't half bad, but with its abysmally good flight performance and radar tech, you can make those shots count. Just don't expect to outlast an F-15E in a Fox 3 arena. It's not happening. The Gripen is all about precision and not spamming. And let's be real here. Flares and chaff are gonna be your lifeline, especially in this plane, and the Gripen delivers. With ball pods that can spit out around 700 flares, you've got enough countermeasures to make the entire missile batteries reconsider their life choices. And the second best plane, which has the same amount of countermeasures as you, is rocking 6 9Ls. So you're way up in the competition, and nobody can practically even touch you if you leave automatic flaring on. Missiles coming your way, pop those flares or chaff, roll out and laugh at the poor sucker who's just wasted his shot. It's not foolproof, but it's about as close as you're going to get. So we've talked about the missiles, countermeasures, and the Gripen's absolute god tier flight performance, but here's the thing. None of that is actually going to matter if you don't actually fly, if you don't actually know how to fly the damn thing itself. The Gripen isn't some all-powerful meta-breaking monster. It's a bit like a scalpel in a world of sledgehammers. And if you want results, you've got to know when to make your move and when to let your enemies or your teammates take their rest. And let's talk about the current meta here for a second, because this is no longer the days of Fox 2 IR spamming with AIM-9Ms or R-73s. No, this is all about who's going the fastest and who's got the best BVR missiles. Half the game is actually spent dodging Fox 3s coming at you from every single direction, and the other half is figuring out how to actually get close with the Gripen to actually make a damn difference. But here's the beauty of the JAS-39C. You actually don't have to play that game. You're fast enough to set the pace and agile enough to dodge most of the junk coming your way, and you've got the tools to punish anybody dumb enough who's going to commit to you in a dogfight. Want to turn a match around? You have to start using your brain. You have to bait out those F-15E missile spammers and drag them into a fight that they're not ready for. You've got to exploit the chaos when they're focused on someone else, and the Gripen will thrive on timing and positioning. It's not about going head to head with everything, it's about knowing when to strike, and once you've got that down, you're pretty much golden. So in the end, flying the Gripen is about following some cookie cutter strategy. It's about adapting, taking calculated risks, and knowing when to strike. If you push too hard, you'll probably burn out. And if you play too passive, you'll practically be useless to your entire team. Therefore, you have to find the balance, and suddenly you'll probably be the one calling the shots. And look, if you're one of those meta players, the one that measures their worth by how many Fox 3s they can vomit across the map, the ones that measures their worth by going Mach 2, the Gripen is not going to be here to hold your hand. On the UK variant, you've got 4 air darters or 4 AIM-120s on the Swedish and Italian ones. That's it. That means no missile spam, no crutches, and no bailout options. Therefore, you have to stick to dogfighting if you get caught in that sort of situation. You either make your shot count or you'll be wasting your silver alliance. And here's the kicker. The Gripen is going to force you to think hard, and when you start playing smarter, you'll notice something, that the F-15E spamming missiles at 30,000 feet will be out of options the moment you drag him onto the deck. The Mirage 2000 doing his fancy aerobatics and sim controls, he's going to be a sitting duck once you pull him into a sustained turn raid, a sustained turn fight that he can't keep up with. The meta warriors will not know what hit them when you don't play by their rules, and that is when the Gripen shines in ARB, and that is how you're gonna get most of your kills, by not playing with their rules. And it's not about who fires first, it's gonna be about who's gonna finish the damn job. And at the Gripen, you're gonna finish the job itself. So yeah, the Gripen isn't perfect, it's not fastest, and it's definitely not the most armed jet at top tier anymore, and it does not have the raw power of an F-15, but you know what, it doesn't need any of that. It's efficient, it's surgical, and it's quite satisfying to fly, and it's very satisfying to dogfight as well. So when you're in the Gripen, you're not going to be playing the game, you're probably going to be rewriting how you play ARB itself, because you don't have to play by the meta. Matches aren't going to be won by the guy with the most missiles or by his sheer speed. They're going to be won by pilots who know how to control the flow, exploit the chaos, and make every engagement an absolute nightmare for the other team. So anyways, that is it for this week. Next week, we'll be diving into the dev server, and you'll possibly catch me playing the Rafale, or maybe even at the F-18 if Gajan decides to add the Hornet now. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see where that takes us. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Fly safe or not, your choice, and I'll catch you all next time.